This is about 3 months into Vietnam. Here I am with my bag of rocks, roaming around the country, not really sure who I'm supposed to meet or what am I supposed to find, right? All I knew is it's not time for me to leave yet. And so as I continue making these videos, documenting my journey, there was an invitation. And it was an invitation to a landmark graduate meetup. And so for those who don't know what landmark education is, it's a training and development course that teaches you how to be in integrity with your word, right? You are your word, so whatever you say will happen. And it teaches you how to communicate with those around you effectively. And so I spent 2 years in the US doing these kind of courses, and for me to see that it made it all the way to Vietnam, well, not yet, but there's a few graduates here who wants to meet up and have this movement grow. And kid you not, it was like 3 hours away in the city, but something just told me, just go. There's someone there, or there's something there that I needed to find. And so I was like, all right, I already gone this far, let's go. I booked a 3-hour bus ticket to the city just to make it to that event. During dinner, I met this one person, and he shared about this guy, right? And this person is the owner of one of the biggest private equity group in Vietnam. So he's a pretty big deal. And when I heard the name of the company, it just resonated so much, where I was like, hey, do you think you can introduce me to this person? I don't know why, I just feel like I need to meet him, right? That's what I've been gotta do. I just need to meet him. It doesn't have to mean anything. Like, maybe we could just chat. Can you make the introduction? And so this other graduate's like, oh, no. This guy's a pretty big deal, right? It's even hard to get a meeting with him. And he only invests in companies with at least 4 to 5, 6 chains already started up. Like, he won't look into startup businesses. And right, at that point, I was so discouraged. I was like, well, I guess no one's gonna wanna look into my crystal business. It's not even really a startup yet. It's just me selling on my Etsy page. And I'm like, well, there goes my chance. So this episode, I wanna share with you, there's no such thing as coincidences. And if you follow your heart, follow the guidance, follow your intuition, it will lead you to exactly who you need to meet. I'm a living example of ever since this happened and how my whole journey in Vietnam unfolded, I am a true believer that there is no such thing as coincidences. And it's probably no coincidence that you came to my channel and are watching my videos. So let's cut to the chase. Tammy Doe, let's go.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
More of the story is I met that person, and not only did we have one meeting, we end up meeting up 3 times and just chat everything that I never thought would be even possible in this conversation. And I'm like, how is this even possible? That the event happened, and I was kind of discouraged. I really thought, okay, well, I guess it's not time yet. I just have a feeling I need to meet certain people, and if it aligns, like, I'll meet them. And so I just went along and I came up with this idea. Partner up with someone to do yoga classes, open up the energy meridians in their body so that it could flow, and then use your blessed stones to meditate after. Because at that time, I already brought my stones to like a ton of temples, and I talked to a ton of monks, and one of the monks actually held on and meditated with it, and she's like, yeah, there's definitely something here, an energy that she definitely felt. And it is someone I respected. And so I was like, all right, I started looking for people to partner up with yoga. So we started doing these yoga workshops, yoga and powerful crystals. And that's how I managed to get a little bit more income coming in to last me a little bit longer in Vietnam. And so one of the person I actually did the workshop with, she was also a graduate. And so we did this workshop. We taught, like a group of us, she taught the yoga and how each poses open up the different chakra. And then I use my stones to meditate after and do like a 10-15 minute meditation. So if you've never done yoga and meditation together with powerful crystals, consider it. It is so, so powerful. And so we did it, and then I posted this picture of me and her as like Goddess Awakening or something along those lines. And then this is about 5 months in, and then I saw a like on Facebook. And it wasn't just any like. It was the person who was the owner of this private equity group, right? He had knew the person that I partnered up with to do yoga. And something in myself just told me, like, add him as a friend and reach out to him. Just do it. And so I did. And so I messaged him. I was like, okay, hey. And he accepted. I was like, hey, I heard you're a Landmark graduate. I'm also a graduate. I spent a few years doing the course. I have a feeling that we're going to meet one point in time. And then he proceeds to reply that it says, hey, Tammy, I see some of the goddess movies or the goddess movement that you're doing. One of my personal life purpose is to bring back the goddess energy. And in my head, I was like, what? And then he proceeds to send me his life purpose manifesto, about 3 to 4 pages, talking about bringing back landmark education, teaching people how to be whole and complete, release energy through language, and raising consciousness, and eating healthy, how to raise conscious children, eating conscious food, and spirituality. And then also the biggest one is the return of the goddesses. And even the title is like the return of the earth goddess. And at the end, one of his visions, his purpose is to share this movement, like create a media or a social company to bring out the word, like educate people on the word, starting in Vietnam. And not only that, his 2 daughters are named after goddesses. And so I'm getting chills just sharing about this experience, because honestly, I never ever saw this coming, right? I originally came in because I thought my only connection was through landmark education, and I've been kind of out of the community for like 3-4 years. I didn't really feel comfortable just coming in and say, hey, landmark this, landmark that. Like my intention was like this light goddess movement. I don't know what it means. I just know these crystals are very powerful and like bringing back the goddess energy. And for this graduate to share with me like his life's purpose, talking about bringing back the goddess energy, and he even shared about this goddess, this people altering goddesses up north in North Vietnam, like bringing the goddess energy back. And I was like, where is this coming from? Like, how is this even possible, right? Here's a person that's like way, way up there, like way out of my league. I wasn't even sure how I was going to get the meeting in the first place. But here he is sharing his life's purpose, and 2 of his daughters are named after goddesses. And I was like, what is going on? And it was in that moment I realized that we're definitely on the same vibration, right? We're tuned in, we're tapped in to this wavelength. There's something there that is something much greater than ourselves. And so we end up meeting. I was like, hey, well, I'm planning to leave in like about 2 months. If we get a chance, let's get together. I want to chat. Like, I don't know, what are you tapping in? What are you tuning into? And what's your purpose? Because I just know I'm here to bring back this goddess energy. Chat for like 2 hours, and then I share. He does not know anything about crystal energy. I shared with him about Moldavite. So the thing with Moldavite is you have to start working with it first to have your body adapt to its energy. It's very, very powerful. 50 that I have in my possession right now has been prayed individually, each one, at the tomb after I fasted for 3 days. So my body, I'm sure it was a clear conduit to receive whatever energy that was there. And so every stone that I have on my shop, it's been charged with the original 50. And so after I met up this graduate for 3 times, we just shared, okay, so he mentioned like come back around February time. He can hire me to do on some movie projects, or we can work together on some media project, sharing to people about raising their consciousness and spirituality and how to be whole and complete through integrity. And I'm like, okay, all right, I don't know how it's going to happen yet, but I just felt like a strong resignation that he is part of my journey somewhere down the line. Like, I don't know where it is yet. We kind of let that rain check. All right, I'm going to return to Vietnam in February. So here's the thing. I started realizing that I need to stop being forceful on what's in my path. Because what I realized, like once I start getting aligned, things just flow, right? What's yours will be meant to be yours. Like you don't have to force a relationship. You don't have to force yourself to meet someone. Like you don't have to force yourself to do something that's not meant for you. And so by me just surrendering and letting the energy flow, and it takes to have the energy flow, you know how to treat your body, how to release the energy, because once all your chakras are open and vibrating consistently, right, you can absorb the cosmic energy a lot more, and so you're tuned in. For me, honestly, I'm constantly tuned in, and so when someone asks me to do something or go here, go there, I'll just be still, hold on my stone, and then just ask, like, and then follow my inner guidance. And it has brought me to this incredible journey in Vietnam. Not only that I managed to create some video clips, like start my YouTube channel through these 7 months in Vietnam, but I met one of the largest private equity firms in Vietnam. And it wasn't even about business, right? It was just talking from our heart. It's like, what is he aligned with? What am I aligned with? What are we meant to do on this grander scale? And that's all it really was. And we both had this mutual agreement. So like, okay, when I come back to Vietnam, we're going to start this goddess theme. And so how I want to bring that back to why there's no such thing as coincidences or synchronicity. And here's the biggest secret I found out. Remember when I told you that water has memory? Well, water has its own signature. So I've gone to all these temples, and I spent some days at the temple with a bunch of monks, and I did a lot of the prayers with them. And I was sitting there doing a prayer one night, and I was wondering why they keep saying like Buddha's name, right? Namo Ayida Phut. And they keep saying in this prayer book for like an hour. And I was like, and it just dawned on me. If these monks are saying Buddha, 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 and water has memory, then they're vibrating at Buddha, 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 Buddha. So if these monks are having that Buddha vibration, and like someone over there is like very big into Buddha too, like they're both gonna sync up at one point in time. So how to bring all that back is, I came to Vietnam with the light goddesses, like a goddess theme, like goddess, bringing back the goddess, 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 goddess. And over here, this graduate's also, his life purpose is to bring back the goddess energy. And here he is vibrating at goddess, goddess, goddess. So we have, like, we're meant to meet, like we're destined to meet. And and that's how synchronicities work. And so why, those affirmations saying, I am, well, if I keep saying, I am abundant, I am powerful, I am unstoppable, if you keep saying those affirmations to yourself, then you're vibrating at those energies. And so if someone over there is vibrating at abundance, and I'm over here vibrating at abundance, we're probably going to meet, right? And then if someone's over there vibrating at, I don't know, fear, like, oh, I'm so fearful, And now I'm over here like, oh, I'm so fearful. We're going to be drawn to each other. Does that make sense? So that was my biggest breakthrough. And I knew at that point, there's no such thing as coincidence. And so now I'm super conscious of what I say, how I talk to myself, and I just tune in, I listen, right? Who am I supposed to meet? Just go. Because what I realize is what's yours will be meant to be yours. To wrap this up, I want to share with you, thank you for everybody who reached out and got a pendant for me. I honestly had to take quite a few down because what I realized, like working with these stones, they're so powerful that you consciously have to be ready for what emerges, right? And so if you don't have that proper tool of training and development of how to release negative energies, right? Because these gunks in your life are going to come up. These traumas, these old energies are going to come up. And if you don't know how to effectively have a conversation with that person you're dealing with or your surrounding, it's very possible that you may fall into like a deep depression and don't know how to deal with whatever comes up for you. And I realized that for myself, when so much stuff started like coming up for me, family, relationships, finance, career, like I couldn't handle it, and I thought I had to take a break from my stone. What I realized that the people that has one of my stones and we're both together or we're both thinking about something, it happens almost instantaneously. I don't know how it happens, but we both see it, and we just talked about it about 5-10 minutes ago, and it's like okay, I think I kind of figured it out. So what I'm going to do is, if you feel really called for one of my stones, reach out to me. I'll see which one resonates with you. I'll personally pick it out, and then I will post it on my Etsy shop. Eventually, when the time is right, for those who have one of my stones, I want to create either a Facebook group or Instagram group or some kind of group. Let me know which one works for you. I want to create a group for just goddesses, right? These are goddesses stones, so we need to bring back the goddess energy. And this group is going to be a private group to start manifesting. If you are part of this crystal grid, the Light Goddesses crystal grid, and if someone needs prayers, as long as you follow my guide on how to clear yourself to be in alignment, and if someone needs help or prayers in the group, we can all put our mindset together and just pray. I know the power of prayers and how powerful it is. Now we're adding the element of crystals, and not just any crystals. These are powerful crystals. So if we merge those two together and we have a grid of us, think of all the things that we can manifest. If you felt a really strong pull to get one of my stones and want to be part of this community, reach out to me. I'll put my email in the bio below. And don't forget to click like and subscribe. Keep me updated if you want to be part of this Light Goddesses grid. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope it helped. Thank you. I love you guys. Tammy Doe, signing off. Hey, can you hear me? I don't have much time. This message is for the Light Goddesses who are starting to emerge. If you have one of my stones or will come in contact with one of my stones, know that these stones have been charged with the original stones that's been brought to Father Budip's tomb in Vietnam. Use it, tune in with it, and always have it on your body so you're constantly aligned. Be careful because they're very, very powerful. And how you know that you're being called is when you start seeing numbers 144 or 911. Those are the light codes for the light workers to start waking up. So you'll know who you are, and when you keep seeing the synchronicities, come find me, okay? Okay, they're closing in. It's time for a mass awakening. So just watch my videos and follow my lead. When you're aligned, I'll see you in the 5th dimension, okay? I'll talk to you soon.